Welcome to the Higher Ed Demand Gen podcast, helping higher education marketing leaders share knowledge about learning, strategies, and tactics that are relevant today. See what you can learn today by listening to one of our episodes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Higher Ed Demand Gen video podcast hosted by Concept 3D. Concept 3D has served the online education community for over a decade with our award-winning interactive maps and virtual tours. Improve your campus communications, engagement, and recruitment with our powerful visual communication solutions. My name is Shiro, and I will be your host today. I'm a demand gen marketer at Concept 3D, and I'm speaking from my home today in Silverthorne, Colorado. It's still snowy out here, y'all, so I'm staying warm. Today, I'm joined with Kamilah Heslop. She is the Assistant Director of Communications at NC State, specifically University's North Carolina's Textile Foundation. She is a marketing leader with over a decade of experience in writing both print and web, social media management, video production, and graphic design. And I know she does a lot more than that. Cam, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Do you want to start us off with a quick fun fact?
I do. I feel like I always try to think of a fun fact, but I think one that I love sharing the most is that prior to my current role and after finishing graduate school, I took a little bit of time off and followed one of my passions, and I worked abroad in Daegu, South Korea. So I was able to follow my passion for Korean food and also Korean culture. It was a really fun experience.
I actually just saw that on your LinkedIn. I didn't know this on our prior call. How long were you teaching there?
About 7 months, but one of the most fun activities that I was able to participate in was the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, which was amazing. It was something I could check off of my amazing to-do list, my really big to-do items.
Got it. Yeah, that's in my bucket list too. I need to check off go to an Olympic event.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I definitely encourage it.
That's awesome. I still also want to go to Korea, so that's on my bucket list. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself and specifically Wilson College of Textiles and its relationship with NC State?
Sure. So like you said, I have worked in the communications field for quite a while, but I'm really fortunate that for the majority of my career, I've been able to work in an office or unit of advancement. So being able to work in the areas of fundraising, stewardship, and alumni affairs has been a passion of mine just because of so many of the ways that donor support has impacted me when I was growing up, throughout my college experience, even in high school. So I was so fortunate to find this position within the North Carolina Textile Foundation. So we are within the Wilson College of Textiles at NC State. So we are the only college in the nation that is solely devoted to textiles. And we do that through our two departments. So we have the Textile Engineering, Chemistry, and Science Department, or TECS as we call it. And then we also have TADM, so Textile and Apparel, Technology and Management. So these two teams really come together to do some extraordinary work in the textile industry. So we are doing biomedical engineering and really incorporating those fibers to make sure that we are keeping people safe. We had so much great research coming out during the COVID pandemic, and really ways that you can utilize your mask and making sure that those materials are keeping you safe. And then even with our pyro van, it's one of the labs that we have on campus, because we want to ensure that the fibers and fabrics used on our military bases for our firefighters are as safe as possible and keeping them really protected when they're doing important work. So that's one of the many reasons that I love working for this college.
That's amazing. And I think last time we got off our call, I watched the tour of your of your spaces of video tour. It was really well done, and it was so cool because
Yeah.
you got to see all the different, I don't know if they're called labs in this guy, I'm thinking schools, not labs, but yeah, all the different spaces and all the different machinery you have for your students. It's truly unique, and I think that's why I was so excited to talk to you, because it's the first time I've heard of a textile school. It's
right.
really cool.
It's mind-blowing. I appreciate being able to talk about it.
Great. Well, I'll switch gears a little bit about a topic I think we addressed last time, which was around the negative stigmas with fundraising within higher education. And what are some of the ways you're doing, things that you're doing to combat that and address that to drive more philanthropy?
I think that's really tough because I think there's always this idea that higher education has so much money and there isn't really a need for donor support. But the way that we really try to share the message of the impact that support can have is by telling the stories of students. I think students, that's such an easy connection point that a lot of folks can understand what it's like to be a young person and wanting to attend college and maybe not having the financial means to do so. So scholarships are truly life-changing. I know when we spoke previously, I shared a little bit about my own story, but when I was younger, I was able to receive an anonymous donor-created scholarship to attend my private all-girls high school, and it really changed the trajectory of my life. I was able to, from there and the education I gained, to attend Ohio State, where I received another full tuition scholarship, merit-based scholarship. And from there, I worked at Ohio State, so I was able to attend graduate school. I was able to study abroad thanks to a scholarship in college, and just so many ways that it impacted me as one human. So imagine if you have the opportunity to create a scholarship program that's able to take students from their freshman year and give them not only tuition support, which of course makes an incredible difference. You don't have to worry about your student debt after graduating, but so many of the scholarships that we have, or two that I can really highlight that we have in the Wilson College of Textiles, the Textile Pioneer Scholarship and the Centennial Scholarship Program, they do such an incredible job at giving a really holistic lens of support to our students. So from the time they are freshmen, they are not only receiving tuition support, but they're receiving enrichment funds so that they can study abroad, so that they can learn about the global textile industry and really get some incredible hands-on experience that they couldn't get anywhere else. It's once in a lifetime experiences that they're able to gain because of donor support. So I think that we have such a passionate alumni base. We call ourselves the Wilson family. It is a true family within the college, especially because we're so small. So knowing that our donors still feel so connected, especially those who were alumni, and they know what it's like to be a student on campus. So being able to give back in that way and telling those stories is one of the major ways that we combat that negative stigma on fundraising.
That's amazing. Are there specific ways that you're sharing that story, right?
Yeah, so of course,
getting that story out there is like half the battle, I feel like, as well.
This is true. So making sure that we're doing it in a digital and interesting format, in addition to printed materials that we display, sharing those stories on social media. We just had our day of giving for the university and we were able to raise funds for our college. So utilizing social media ads, utilizing ads within our partner newsletters and news outlets. So our industry partners. So we're able to share that news, not just with our alumni and current donors, but folks in the industry who of course want our very talented students to join the workforce and work for their companies. So they're able to also see those messaging and understand how important it is to donate and give back.
That's amazing. So what I'm really hearing is like, as a donor, you're not just supporting the student, you're actually supporting the student, the school, and the industry as a whole in which the donor probably works in, right?
Definitely.
That's amazing.
That's a great way to round it out.
It's a good segue into my my next one, which is, exactly how are you reaching out? And I guess this is going to be a bigger part of is what is working right for you right now.
Mhm. I would say that one of the ways that we have been able to connect with our alumni and friends, especially in this virtual space because of COVID, has been those Zoom events.
Mhm.
So, in addition to sharing updates about the college, we've also been able to utilize that as an educational opportunity. So, yesterday, for example, we hosted our Pope keynote lecture. So, we had an incredible expert in the field come in, and his keynote focused on globalization, especially within the textile industry. So not only were our students interested in that area, but we had alumni tune in because it's something that impacts all of us, and it speaks to the importance of sustainability, especially the route that we're going on now. It was such an interesting lecture, and it gave our alumni an opportunity to tune in and still continue to connect with the college, in addition to folks in the industry who might want to know more. And that's another way that we're really staying connected to the textile industry. So in addition to being able to host events like that, we're also able to have certification courses and training done by our Zeiss Textiles Extension Office. So even if you don't have a textile background, but you really want to know more about fibers, about different ways that you can utilize textiles, either to keep people safe, to make clothing sustainable, to make clothing beautiful with dyes. There are so many ways that we can give you that really quick, well, not necessarily quick, but that background information and knowledge that you need through a certification program so that you have what you need to succeed in your role, especially in the textile industry.
That's amazing. So what I really heard was you're not providing value just one way. It's going both ways, from the students, your speakers, to the alumni, to maybe some of the companies involved as well. It's kind of going in all directions, and that value and information is being shared within that community that you've created.
I would love to share another event if we still have time to talk that we just hosted that was also
Yeah,
virtual.
go for it.
So we have a series that's being hosted by our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee within the college, and it's called Unraveling the Truth. And the latest one, I was actually able to tune in, it was wonderful, was about Indigenous attire. So that was an opportunity that not only students and alumni and industry partners could attend, but we were able to share that information on social media so that folks who might not know much about the college but are interested in this specific area could learn more. We had panelists, some who were connected to the college, but some who were in general connected maybe to the university and to their specific tribes. They were able to share more background information about being able to appreciate the Indigenous culture and Indigenous attire as opposed to appropriation. And it was such a powerful discussion. It's especially timely in today's society. So it's just another way that we're going above and beyond to really try to educate, of course, engage and socialize and keep things fun. But really, we hope that people walk away from these different events with more knowledge about the textile industry and more knowledge that they can take into other industries that they might work in.
That's amazing. I got some goosebumps during that one.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't really think about it. Textiles are related to cultures as well. And so if you're making textiles, inherently you're going to be also, you're working with different cultures and backgrounds as well. It's a really good point I wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah.
It's great. I'll switch gears a little bit more towards the partners you've been talking about and some of the supporters. In our last call, you mentioned how important they are to fundraising. And how do you properly communicate with them to continue driving that demand and generating maybe potentially some new as well?
So one way that we did it for Day of Giving, which is a 24-hour fundraiser for NC State, and the units within the university are able to raise money for their specific colleges. And I'm really proud to say that for the third year in a row, we were able to raise more than $1 million for the Wilson College of Textiles. So one of the segments that we were able to target when we were marketing Day of Giving for our audiences was the textile industry in general. So we have partnerships with some industry newsletters and communications that go out that we really utilize to not only connect with alumni who might work in this field still, but other folks who are in the industry that realize that we are the only textile focused college in the nation. So we are able to bring our expertise and our world-class education to our students so that when they leave after graduating, they have knowledge that it can't be met by any other institution. They're really bringing something unique to the field. So we have so many donors who are industry partners who utilize our facilities, who utilize our research labs. So they know that we have world-class capabilities. So they see the advantage of creating not only scholarships, but also fundraising or giving funds for our different facilities that they in turn utilize, and that in turn our students are really able to gain this incredible education that they're using when they join those industries. So in addition to email newsletters, in addition to targeted ads, being able to really utilize our alumni who work in those organizations and connect them to ways that they can stay involved. So we have our Blend mentorship program, which tonight we're actually having our end of this year's program celebration, but so many of our students were connected with internships. So one, for example, I just created a video about her, Claire Henson. She was connected to an internship this summer in Baltimore at Under Armour through her mentor, who also attended the Wilson College of Textiles and also currently works at the headquarters at Under Armour.
Nice.
So being able to really create those lifelong ties so that when our alumni graduate or our students graduate and become alumni, they're still connected and they still are looking for ways that they can give back because they've gained so much from the college. So being able to utilize those networks when we need to distribute news, especially news that's related to the industry as a whole, as opposed to just our constituents, is really helpful. And it's something that we feel lucky that we have these really positive ties to our alumni base and to the industry.
Got it. And just sharing some of that news really position yourselves as a leader in the textile industry through those publications as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
and
super
because we
interesting.
have different trade shows within the textile industry, so we are always able to host our alumni and friends receptions there. So we're not just targeting our alumni in those cases, but we want other industry partners or potential industry partners to join us to learn more about what we're doing so that they can see ways that they can utilize our expertise as well.
I'm sorry. So are you attending as NC State at these different
We
trade
are
shows?
attending as NC State's College of, or Wilson College of Textiles at these different
Wilson.
events. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a little outside of the box. I like it.
Yeah.
Are any other schools joining them with you?
There are some different schools who might be with outside of the United States who might be attending, depending on the different trade shows. There are trade shows that take place all over the world, specifically for the textile industry. So the ones in the United States, I feel like we have the leg up in those cases just because of our specific focus and because we have built really strategic partnerships with our alumni, and even for our board, for our North Carolina Textile Foundation Board of Directors. So we don't just have alumni on that board. We have industry leaders, folks who have been in the industry for 50 plus years, who are really able to explore partnerships and connections that we might not have been able to do otherwise. So there are so many legs and limbs that we have out in different areas to really get the word out about what we're doing.
That's amazing. Yeah. I feel like you're super busy first off. You're doing a lot of different things and being super creative Love it.
I think I have fun with the work that I'm able to do. So I love that.
Yeah, I think I heard you name off a couple things you've done just in the last week and things you're doing tomorrow. So
Yeah.
impressive. I have a final question here. Do you
Yeah.
have any advice for others that are just
Mm.
entering the field? I know it's a very generic, so we can go, specific or general this one, but I think your unique case here working for the Wilson College of Textiles is very interesting. It could be a little more broad too, but yeah.
I think I would say try to find an area that you feel passionate about. So for me, I feel lucky to have this personal experience with fundraising and philanthropy. So this is an area that I feel is completely my lane and that I feel passionate about going to work because I get to do this. I get to impact not only our academic programs, our facilities, but I'm really passionate about the student support and also being able to bring the best and brightest minds through our faculty and staff. So that's something I feel interested about. So I would say whatever area specifically that you feel really passionate about, I would try to learn as much as you can. I've done informational interviews. I've reached out to folks on LinkedIn who have what at the time I would have considered my dream job. And now I'm in what is my dream job now, but really being able to utilize those networks. So it doesn't always have to be folks that you were able to communicate with in person, but being able to use LinkedIn, being able to use Twitter, if you're on Twitter, to really connect with units or areas or individuals that you feel like are in the lane that you would like to be in, and really just picking their brain, seeing what they might love about their job, what they might not like, because maybe you'll learn something and you'll say, hey, maybe that isn't the perfect fit for me, but maybe something similar would be a better fit, I think is one of the ways that I've been able to kind of like to find my lane and continue to stay in it and continue to love what I'm doing.
That's amazing. Was there like a specific community? Like, are you part of some higher ed communities that helped as well?
There are cool communities. CASE, I always love the Council for the Advancement and Services in Education. I believe I have that right. That one's wonderful. They have so many really engaging webinars and conferences. I've attended one in person. If you are within an email marketing client, so in the past I used iModules, I don't in my current role, but I've attended iModules conferences and really being able to learn more about that specific area. I have attended, there are so many webinars, there are Marcom organizations. So I work within the UNC system, and we have multiple universities within the system, including UNC Chapel Hill, including UNC Charlotte, including so many other universities, but being able to be a part of that marketing and communications Marcom network has been really valuable to learn what other folks are doing and see what challenges they might be running into so that you can avoid them. I think that's been really helpful.
That's great advice. Yeah. I mean, for me, I always try to find that community first, especially if you're entering a new niche or a new position. So I think that's super helpful. Great. I was wondering, where some of our listeners could connect with you if they have more questions.
I am on Twitter at Kamilah, Kamilah, and my last name is Heslop, Heslop. And then also, if you're interested in learning more about the Wilson College of Textiles, please feel free to visit textiles.ncsu.edu. There is a wealth of knowledge on that website, especially if you're interested in just learning more about textiles, if your children are, if other folks that you might know. I think it's a wonderful website and there's so much that you can learn.
Thank you. Well, it was great having you on today. Thank you so much for all your insight and an amazing conversation and sharing your story, your life story, honestly, with us. It was really amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If you ever want to talk about Korea, Korean culture, Korean food, let me know.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.